friends, welcome to Talks the Way. Today we are going to discuss about advertised distance and feasible distance in EIGRP and then successor. Already we know successor means best path, feasible successor means backup path, advertised distance the cost from the next hop router to destination. The feasible distance means the total cost from local router to reach the destination. Now we will going to see in depth how the advertised distance is calculated and feasible distance is calculated. Let us go step by step and we will make understand. See, we all know the EIGRP uses a rich set of metrics, namely called bandwidth, delay, load, reliability, which we will cover in later. These values will be put into the formula and each will be assigned to the link as a metric, and then lower these values are the better. Okay, the metrics, how it's calculated, all those things we will be seeing in later stage. Now let us assuming some metric value will assign to the routers and then see how it is works. See here the R3 router will advertise to the R2 its metric towards the destination. Basically R3 is saying to the R2 it's cost me 5. To get there, this is called the advertised distance. Here R3 is advertising a value to R2 which is called as a advertised distance, which is a 5. The R2 will save into the topology table, the 5. Then this value we will call it as the advertised distance or reported distance. See here R2 will save a advertised distance which is received from a R3 which is a 5 to reach the destination. The advertised distance is 5. We will call that is a advertised distance or reported distance. We have not done it since there is something else R2 will save in the topology. We have advertised distance is 5 since this is what R3 told us. We also know the metric of the link between R2 and R3 since this is directly connected. R2 knows the metric for the total path to the destination. This path is called as a feasible distance and it will be saved in the topology table. See, R2 knows what is the value between R2 and R3 that is directly connected. That metric is the cost is 10. Total distance between R2 to destination via R3 is 10 plus 5, 15. So that will be saved in the topology table of R2. The advertised distance is 5, the feasible distance is 15. Now we have learned the two important concepts of EIGRP, which is the advertised distance. Your neighbor tells you how far it's from him to reach the destination, and the feasible distance, which is your total distance to get to the destination. Still it's not completed. Let's continue. Okay, now R1 is running this also EIGRP. R2 is sending a feasible distance towards R1 which is 15. R2 is sending a feasible distance to the R1 which is 15, means via R2 we can reach the destination which is via 15, that is advertising to the R1. Now R1 will save the information in the topology as a advertised distance. R2 is telling to R1 that distance is 15. Okay, that advertised distance will saved. Now R1 know how far the destination is away for R2. Now R1 knows how far the destination is away from R2, that is 15. Since we know the metric for the link between R1 and R2, we know the metric between R1 and R2, it can be calculated as a total distance. See, already R2 is said from me you can reach the destination, but that metric is 15. R1 should know, okay, the metric between R1 to R2, that is a 5. Then based on this adding 15 plus 5, total distance will be calculated, which is a feasible distance, that is 20. Now let us put in the plain English the advertised distance, how far the destination is away from your neighbor. How far destination from your neighbor. This is for R1. R2 is my neighbor. How far destination from your neighbor? Then 15. That's advertised distance for R1. And then the feasible distance. The total distance to destination. 5 plus 10 plus 15. Total is 20. Here in this scenario, total distance is 20. This simple one, okay, advertised distance means how far the destination is away from your neighbor. The feasible distance means the distance total distance to the destination. Once the feasible distance is calculated, which is the less feasible distance, that will be called as a best path, or that will be called it as a successor. In this scenario, we have only one path, so this is a successor. The successor path metric is a 20. Okay, we will go through the upcoming scenarios with the different cases where we will get a successor and a feasible successor. The feasible successor means backup path. The best path means successor. Backup path means feasible successor. We will be go through that scenario in upcoming videos. Now you understand what is the feasible distance and what is the advertised distance. This is quite important in the BGP. In upcoming videos, we will be go through in detail about metric calculation and then feasible successor and successor, how it will be get elected, and then how the loop will be getting avoided where that mesh is connected. Mesh means multiple connectivity between the routers and then multiple networks are connected, how the loop will be get avoided. Those scenarios we will be covering in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching Net Talks Tamil. Please like it, share it, subscribe it. If you have any doubts, please drop your doubts in the comment box. It will be addressed in upcoming videos.